So, artificial intelligence is making some pretty serious waves in the world of professional coaching. And look, it's a shift that's sparking a ton of excitement, but also, a healthy dose of skepticism. So the big question is AI here to replace coaches, or is it here to make them better than ever before? Let's dive in and find out.
Okay, to really get this, we first have to understand the core problem that's been holding coaching back for decades. It's something called the coaching triangle, and it really boils down to three things. A coach's time is incredibly scarce, the cost is so high it's inaccessible for most people, and the one-to-one model really limits its reach. For years, this has felt like an unbreakable barrier.
But what if there was a way to just shatter that triangle? The sources we're looking at today frame AI not just as another little tool, but as the direct solution to this huge, long-standing challenge. Yeah, you heard that right. AI is being positioned as coaching's kryptonite.
And this whole problem, it's not just some abstract theory. It has a very real, very human cost. We're about to see the real-world consequences of trying to scale something that is, at its heart, intensely human. I mean, just listen to this quote from leadership coach Sarah Chin. It really brings the problem to life. 3 hours of admin for every single hour of actual coaching. That's not just inefficient. That is a perfect recipe for burnout. It just drains the energy that coaches need to do their most important work.
And Sarah's feeling? It's not unique at all. A 2024 survey found that a staggering 73% of coaches feel like they're just drowning in administrative work. This shows you it's a massive, systemic issue, not just a few people struggling.
And this, right here, brings us to the solution, AI. But it's so important that we reframe how we see it. This is not about some robot taking over. It's about AI acting as an amplifier, a tool that makes human coaches even better.
I absolutely love this metaphor. It just perfectly captures the ideal role for AI in coaching, right? Think about it. It handles the scheduling, the note-taking, the follow-ups, all the repetitive stuff, so the human coach can focus on being more present, more prepared, and, ironically, more human.
So how does this AI intern actually show up in the real world? Well, the market is already splitting up to serve some very different needs. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Let's break this down. First, you've got your enterprise platforms like CoachHub, which are built for big companies. Then you have the all-in-one hubs like Clarityflow, designed for solo coaches to run their entire business. And then there's this really fascinating category, expert digital twins like Rocky.ai, that let thought leaders basically scale themselves with a personal AI.
But the real power here isn't just about saving time with automation. It's about something bigger. It's about transforming coaching from an art that's based on intuition into a data-driven science with impact you can actually measure.
Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. This is the big one, the skepticism. The fear that an AI coach can only spit out robotic, one-size-fits-all advice that doesn't have any real personalization or nuance. It's the question that's on everybody's mind.
Well, you might think so, but the data from a recent study tells a completely different story. Get this. A massive 96% of users felt that the AI's responses were actually customized and tailored to their specific goals or context. That just completely challenges that cookie-cutter myth. And it's not just about personalization. The overall user experience is overwhelmingly positive. 91% would use it again, 90% found it easy to use, and almost 90% said it led to useful, actionable next steps. People are clearly finding real value here.
So what is AI truly great at? Well, it's a master of structure. It's fantastic for effective role-playing, for tough conversations. It uses probing questions to really encourage critical thinking, and it delivers concise, actionable feedback. And, of course, the big one, it automates admin, saving coaches anywhere from 5 to 10 hours a week.
But look, technology always has its limits, and it's so important to be clear about what AI can't do. There are areas where the human touch isn't just important, it's absolutely irreplaceable.
And what's so fascinating is that AI's blind spots perfectly define the human coach's superpowers. It lacks genuine emotional intelligence and empathy. It can struggle with spontaneous, fluid conversation and long-term memory. These are the exact areas where a human's intuition and connection are mission-critical. This quote from Dr. Amit Mohendra really just nails the central theme here. It says it all. The goal isn't replacement, it's amplification. It's all about creating a powerful partnership.
So here's what that partnership looks like in practice. The AI assistant handles the data, the admin, the pattern detection, and that frees up the human coach to focus entirely on their highest value skills, empathy, strategic reflection, and building that deep, trusting rapport that creates real, lasting change.
This means the real question isn't if we should use AI, but how. How do we integrate this incredible technology ethically, transparently, and in a way that actually works?
Well, here's a simple 3-step framework for any coach or organization. First, you have to be transparent with clients about how AI is being used. Second, establish crystal clear boundaries for when a situation needs to be escalated to a human. And third, coaches have to upskill themselves. They need to become skilled interpreters of the data that the AI provides.
You know, at the end of the day, this all comes down to a fundamental truth. The best technology doesn't replace what makes us human. It just removes the friction so we can connect more deeply. AI in coaching isn't the end of the story. It's just a tool to clear the path. So the real question is, how will you use it?